Well, look who showed up tonight. Don't worry, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Sit tight, because tonight, we're not here for fairy tales. We're here to talk about tests. The kind of tests that rip the bones out of your soul. The kind that no school, no book, no priest, no therapist can prepare you for. A test that doesn't care about your resume, your bloodline, your medals. It doesn't care who your daddy was or what your mama prayed for. It's a test designed to break you, humiliate you, bury you 6 feet under. And guess what? You scored perfect. 100%. Not 99, not 99.9. Perfect. The gods are trembling, angels are whispering, and hell itself is screaming, "Who let you cook?" You know what that means. It means you didn't just pass, you outperformed existence itself. While the world was rooting for your failure, while demons sharpened their teeth, for the moment you'd collapse, you stayed standing. Not because it was easy, not because you were lucky, no. You stayed standing because pain was your university, betrayal was your syllabus, and loss was your daily homework assignment. You didn't learn resilience, you became resilience. Picture it. Hell's boardroom, flames licking the ceiling, demons pounded the table in panic. Who authorized this? Who gave them the keys to creation? Who let this lunatic cook? He leans forward, eyes wild. Because when you cook, oh darling, you don't serve dinner. You serve revolutions. You serve plagues. You serve justice so raw the devil himself chokes on it. That's what it means to be divinely tested. You weren't meant to survive. You were meant to be exterminated. And yet, you're still here, louder, stronger, hungrier. Let me ask you something. Do you know what terrifies tyrants? Do you know what makes institutions, cults, and governments panic in their bunkers? Not armies, not nukes, not even money. No. It's the man, the woman, the outcast who looked straight into the test designed to destroy them and laughed. The one who crawled out of the pit with fire in their lungs and said, "That's all you've got?" That is terror. That is divine. Listen carefully. Every scar on your skin, that was ink on your exam paper. Every betrayal you endured, that was a question they thought you couldn't answer. Every night you cried so hard you tasted salt and iron. That was the essay portion. And you wrote in blood, sweat, madness, and somehow, beauty. The score came back, and the verdict was undeniable. 100%. And now, you're dangerous. Because they can't test you again. What are they going to do? Send another heartbreak? Another lie? Another trap? You've already answered those questions. They can't expel you from hell. You burned their classrooms down on your way out. And heaven? Heaven doesn't know what to do with someone who carries both halos and horns in the same grin. You don't fit their categories. You're the glitch in the divine system. The unmarked answer, key, the chaos they can't predict. So they whisper, "Who let you cook?" Because cooking, in your hands, isn't making meals. Cooking is alchemy. Cooking is turning humiliation into art. Cooking is stirring your suffering into gasoline and lighting the match. You turn every failure into flavor, every insult into spice, every loss into fire. And when you finally served the dish, the world had no choice but to taste it. And it was unforgettable. Here's the truth, my sweet little monsters. Passing the divine test doesn't mean life gets easier. Oh no. It means the spotlight is hotter, the stakes are bloodier, the knives are sharper. But it also means this: you no longer play by their cookbook. You write your own recipes. You walk into hell's kitchen, steal their pans, and make the flames your seasoning. They thought you were fragile. They thought you'd break. And now they see you holding a 100% scorecard with a grin that says, "Try again." That's why hell's shaking. That's why heaven's confused. That's why the whole world can't stop staring. So the next time you're down, the next time you're cornered, the next time you feel the shadows whispering that you can't make it, remember this: you already passed the exam that was meant to end you. Everything else is extra credit. Everything else is dessert. Ladies and gentlemen, your life is the divine test. And you aced it, so cook. Cook louder, cook darker, cook until the devils scream your name in envy, until the gods demand a second serving. Cook until reality itself bends and begs. Who let you cook? But here's the secret no one wants to admit. A divine test isn't really about passing or failing. No. It's about exposure, stripping you raw, showing you and them what you truly are when the mask comes off, when the comfort is gone, when every excuse has been burned away. That's the horror of it. That's the beauty of it. The test isn't multiple choice. It's multiple cuts, and every cut carved your truth into existence. Oh, they thought you'd crumble. They wanted you to crumble. Because if you crumbled, it would prove them right. It would let them keep their little order intact. But instead you showed up with scars that turned into scripture. Every scar a sermon, every bruise a gospel, and suddenly, you weren't a victim anymore. You were a prophet of chaos. Do you understand how terrifying that is? The divine test wasn't just about you. It was about everyone watching you. Because when you survived, they lost their excuse. They can't cry, "It's impossible," anymore. They can't say, "It's too much," anymore. Because you proved otherwise. Your existence is now their indictment. You became the evidence against mediocrity, against cowardice, against chains. You became the nightmare of excuses. And now they want to contain you. But how do you cage someone who already broke free from the exam that was supposed to kill them? You think bars scare you? You think gossip scares you? You think hellfire scares you? No. You've been through the fire. You are the fire. And fire, my darling, doesn't negotiate. It devours. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine hell itself. Red lights flickering, alarms blaring, demons scrambling with clipboards. They're screaming at each other. How did they do it? We wrote the hardest test in history. We gave them betrayal, heartbreak, poverty, humiliation. We piled it on. We made sure no one could walk away whole. And yet, there you stand, whole. No, better, transformed. Not the same creature they tried to break, but something else entirely, something ungovernable. That's why they're shaking, because you didn't just pass, you evolved. And evolution, evolution is unstoppable. They can't predict your next move, because even you don't know what's coming next. And that's power, pure, divine, terrifying power. You became the kind of being whose very existence is a question mark that breaks their systems. They wanted control, but instead they got you. So tell me, why do you think the whispers don't stop? Why does the world keep throwing shadows at your feet? Because they're scared that you'll cook again, scared that you'll take the raw meat of their lies, their rules, their false gods, and you'll season it with rage, fry it in fire, and serve it back to them as truth. They don't want you in the kitchen. They don't want you near the stove, because they know once you cook, everybody eats, and nobody forgets the taste. This is the phase they never tell you about. After the test, after the score, after the celebration. This is when you realize the test never ends. It just changes forms. It's not about surviving anymore. It's about wielding what you've become. It's about taking the pen they tried to stab you with and writing your own gospel in blood and ink. It's about walking into their halls of power and reminding them, I don't follow recipes, I create them. Remember this, the ones who tried to bury you are now Googling your name. The ones who laughed at your struggle are now choking on the silence of your victory. The same hands that pointed at you in shame will soon clap in awe or tremble in fear. Either way, you won. Either way, they'll never forget. And that's why they whisper, who let you cook?